Red Dead Redemption 2, eglx Toronto, SADES Armor RGB headset, and this cup of coffee. All 4 things that have something in common. I'm absolutely excited for them to happen. I'm Mikey, this is SADES TV, it's time. This past week, PC gamers were blindsided with an official Red Dead Redemption 2 announcement, which shocked and pleased many. Coming out within the next 3 weeks, we've also been hit with the minimum and recommended settings for PC. Meaning, if you haven't made any significant upgrades to your rig, here's a few glorious reasons to go ahead and do so. Rockstar has stated that the minimal system requirements for RDR2D will require Windows 7 Service Pack 1, an Intel i5-2500K, 8GB of RAM, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 770, or an AMD Radeon R9 290, and of course a whopping 150GB of hard drive space. With recommended settings, we're seeing Windows 10 with a April 2018 update, an Intel Core i7-4770K or AMD Ryzen 5 1500X, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060, or an AMD Radeon RX 480. And of course, that 150GB of hard drive space. Rockstar has improved the graphics considerably for the PC version, with some major steps forward and some neat bits of fine-tuning to boost. Red Dead Redemption 2 supports 4K resolutions and higher, plus HDR on the PC, as well as ultra-wide monitors and multi-monitor configurations. It also has an unlocked frame rate. PC gamers will also benefit from the increased draw distances, so you'll be able to see further across the landscape. There will also be a higher quality global illumination and ambient occlusion for improved day and night lighting. If you were hoping for a Steam release, we've got some good, bad, and ugly news for you today. While the game will be available the 5th of November this year exclusively on the Rockstar Games Launcher and Epic Games Store, Steam won't see a release until sometime in December. So if your preference is set on Steam specifically, I'm sure you'll have no issue waiting the next 4 to 6 weeks. Now moving over to SADES product, this week we've got the SADES Armor, one of our newest and brightest gaming headsets on the market. With a newly redesigned suspension headband to offer even more comfort for those gaming long sessions and upgraded ear cups, the Armor is built like a tank in small form factor. With the power of Realtek gaming audio, we've got a simple design housing for all the features that you've come to love from SADES, with some minor tweaks and huge sound. And to answer that question early and often, yes, it is readily available now in the US and Canada through both canadacomputers.ca and amazon.com. Take a look today and experience the Armor by visiting our links in the description. Now, what's really cool is, again, we talk about the suspension headband on this thing, and I can put this up to some of the older models, which are still phenomenal models in my opinion. Something that comes to mind is actually the X-Power sitting up here as a backup. Now, this is the older SADES models for our suspension headband, and I'll get right in there, right into the guts where I can. It's really unique and it is comfortable without a shadow of a doubt, especially being lightweight. Now, keep in mind the earmuffs on this thing are ginormous and it does vibrate. This is the X-Power, by the way, which you can find a video for by hitting a link in the description. Go ahead and do that. Check that out. Really cool headset with a really nice price on it. I do love the flexibility. This thing is so broken in. I've worn this as like my number 3 headset for music essentially for the last year and a half, and it crushes so many other headsets. It's nice. It does a really good job. But with this guy, we've actually upgraded the cushioning on it significantly. So it's got more of a sturdier band, and we ditched the blue, went with the black, but you can see side by side, it's almost no comparison in terms of thickness. So right here, we've got the X-Power, right here we've got the X-Power, right here we've got the Armor, and you can see the difference. Now, as far as the drivers go, they're pretty close to the same size. We'll have what's inside the headset itself, but obviously you've got the RGB side of things, and then you've got the ice blue, which still looks really good, performs really good, but man, this is nice, and this I do like. A lot of people don't like these, but it reminds me of some cool NSA, CIA operative kind of behind the desk setup, you know what I mean? Really, really unique. And what's cool is actually when you do use the inline remote and turn around and mute it, it does blink to indicate that it's not in use. Kind of like what Yeti does right now with the, or what Blue, I should say, does with the Yeti microphones. The same kind of premise, and it works well. I do like having that feature. Evidently, we've got the inline remote here, nice and small, simple, attached right to the headset, and that's going to allow us to do volume up, volume down, muting, and of course, muting the microphone itself independently. And then you've got your RGB, which can be selected directly from the headset itself, and default right back to the full spectrum RGB. So again, it's nothing too crazy with the lighting. I mean, here's my thought process is that RGB lightings are all around us. We have them everywhere in all of our peripherals. So having an abundance of features, I don't think is a huge need in a headset. I think it's a very niche market. But comfort is everything, and weight. I mean, the weight difference in the two of these is actually pretty on point, but this thing can sit on your head snug for hours on end, and I cannot hear anything in the background. Any ambient noise that I had it's gone completely. The flexible in the microphone is obviously nice, and it does actually work as a flexible microphone. A lot of the times you have a headset where you'll go to set it like this, and then it'll off to the side. So you command where this thing stays, it stays there. It's sleek, it's comfortable. It doesn't need to be adjusted, so you don't have to refund the headset every time to change the settings. If, you know, let's say you've got a brother or sister that you're sharing with, or a family member that you share with, you're not messing around with it and readjusting it every time. This thing is form-fitted to go on your head. By the way, with hats on, if you haven't noticed, this is something that I haven't been able to do in a very long time. As a gamer that likes to wear hats, it's just my thing. The Smarty on the top of your head, that thing's always getting compressed by a headset, which is obviously smashing itself into your cranium and causing pain. You don't have to worry about that as much anymore. Take my word from it. And if my word isn't good enough for you, take a look at our Amazon page as well as our Facebook page. Read through the reviews, and if you've purchased product, go ahead and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you and your thoughts on the product along the way. Now, I'm really sad to announce that this coming weekend, October 18th, we won't be bringing you another episode of SADES TV. In fact, we thought we'd take it even a step further and hold off on an episode to bring you something really neat. eglx, the Enthusiast Gaming Live Expo, taking place at the Metro Convention Centre in my hometown, Toronto, Ontario. It's actually there that I'll be visiting not just only on business, but to poke around and see what's new around the world of gaming and competitive esports. We'll be bringing you footage showcasing some amazing talent, including some intense tournament action. Hopefully some interviews and insights from some of the biggest creators in the industry, and of course, you'll get to ride shotgun with me. Now, we've got one more announcement for you guys. I wasn't supposed to let the cat out of the bag just yet, but I got way too excited, and that is that officially as of next month, we will be on Amazon.ca. That's right, Canada, you now have a chance to buy and purchase SADES products directly through Amazon using your Prime account. Keep a look on our social media channels over the next couple weeks, as we'll have more in-depth news in regards to our transition to Amazon. So keep your eye out this October for a release on our follow-up episode. And until next time, I'm Mikey from SADES TV, growing together with gamers.